Hello viewers, this is Just Fake Network TV, a place where you can get the latest information about Nigeria news and out the news in details. We can't resume. We don't want to die. NMA and UT knock federal government over plan to reopen schools. The Nigerian Medical Association and the Nigerian Union of Teachers on Tuesday took a sweep at the federal government over its safe reopening of schools. The apex organizations of medical doctors and teachers in the country told The Punch that the directive that graduating classes should resume was not only badly thought out, but also could expose both teachers and pupils to the deadly coronavirus. The NMA president, Professor Innocent Huja, who spoke to one of our correspondents in Jos, said that given the current low level of compliance by Nigerians with COVID-19 safety protocols, it was risky to ask pupils to resume. The NUT General Secretary Mike Hene said government was playing politics with the directive. He wondered how teachers who had not been paid salaries in some states would get money to buy personal protective equipment. Huja and Hene spoke just as the Ondo State Governor, Rotimi Akeredolu, on Tuesday became the latest prominent Nigerian to test positive for the virus. Following the governor's disclosure of his COVID-19 status, the state government ordered commissioner and other aides to Akeredolu to compulsorily go for the coronavirus test. But as concerns mounted over the spread of COVID-19, the NMA faulted Monday's pronouncement by the federal government on the reopening of schools. The Presidential Task Force on COVID-19, at its briefing in Abuja, said the government, in what is called safe reopening of schools, had approved resumptions of pupils in graduating classes, including primary 6, the junior secondary school 3, and the senior secondary school 3. The government also lifted the ban it placed on interstate travel and domestic flights. In approving the resumption of graduating classes, it said water must be provided in schools for hand washing, and both pupils and teachers must wear face masks while observing social distancing. Many schools don't have water, says NMA. Faulting the federal government, the NMA president asked, what is the compliance of the citizens in terms of regular hand wash and other safety protocols? At the moment, many of the schools don't have water. Obviously, it becomes very difficult to say that schools should reopen because you have to wash your hands regularly. Again, I don't know how the teachers will be teaching with face masks and all the pupils will wear face masks. If you are not used to face mask, you may not breathe well, particularly if the one you have is not standard. He also said it will be difficult to observe social distancing in classrooms. Huja stated, I believe the government should think about it. If they can stay a little, people have to be alive to go to school. And the way things are happening, the compliance level is still very low. I don't think it is appropriate to open the schools right now. We cannot resume. We don't want to die, teachers tells the federal government. Also, the NUT General Secretary said government was not serious with his directive. He said teachers could not resume because nobody wanted to die. He stated, I don't know who is going to use his own child as a guinea pig. It is only those who are alive that can speak of keeping hope alive. How can we resume? Does anybody want to die? Hene said, if government wanted teachers to resume, they should be provided with necessary materials and incentive. Teachers are being taken for granted. Government yet to provide PPE, says NUT. The NUT General Secretary stated, the NUT is saying that the government has not assured us properly to go back to school, as the NCDC, Nigerian Center for Disease Control, moved around to make sure that the isolation center are provided in schools. What measures have they told us have been provided for teachers to come back? We are being taken for granted. Teachers are parents and human beings too. Their children don't want to lose them out of carelessness. We are ready. We are not afraid to teach, but government has not shown commitment for us to go back to school. All what the government is doing is mere politics. When you talk about guidelines, we have passed the stage of talking without actions. I just read a text from a certain school asking my daughter, who is going to take final exams, to come back. They are demanding sanitizers, face masks and other consumables, thereby throwing back the burden to parents who have already been overstressed with feeding their children since they have been at home. The government have reneged on what it should do. In a class of 60, 40, 70 pupils, you were talking of physical and social distances. Can a teacher take a class from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. and 2 p.m. to 5 p.m., then 5 p.m. to 10 p.m.? What is the PPE that government has given to teachers? If a teacher is going to face many pupils in a class and has no PPE, how would a teacher function, or they expect him to use his meager salary? I don't know if government is aware that, as of today, so many state and local governments are owing teachers. So viewers, what is your own take about this? What do you think? My own take is that God bless the Nigerian Medical Association and God bless the Nigerian Union of Teachers for saying the truth, because it looks as if the federal government are playing with the lives of the Nigerian citizens. Trust me, and they are playing with the life of the teachers and students. This is what I'm saying. When you watch one of my videos, you can see that I emphasize on this about the federal government not providing the necessary equipment that needed to be provided for the teachers and students. And here we are, the Nigerian Union of Teachers are saying the same thing too. How can you say that there's going to be a safe reopening of schools without providing the necessary equipment that needs to be provided for the teachers and students? Why is it that the federal government are being sentimental about their analysis? Why is it that they are adding politics into everything that they do? This is wickedness of the highest order. The government, they didn't provide anything. And at the same time, the federal government are still owing the NUT. What are we now saying? No provision, nothing for them. What are we now saying? Why is our government acting like this? Why? Let's hear what people are saying about it. You know, Nigerians are saying that why won't NUT say that? Work or no work, they receive their salary. They are just looking for an excuse to remain at home and continue receiving salary. Do they even think about their colleagues in private schools who stopped receiving salary since March? If government has not been paying them since March, I am very sure schools must have been opened by now, as there must have been series of protests organized by NUT. They don't pay them. You know, people are saying they don't pay them their salaries for a month. Let's see their reactions. You go to market, you didn't lie. You go to church, you didn't lie. As you travel and in bus and taxi, you didn't die. It's in the school that these children have immunity that you would die. In fact, there is no running water in the market. And church is it not the same way that keep water in the church and banks? The thing is that let's just be realistic to ourselves. Nigerians don't have enough facilities that are needed for the safety of these children. All these things that people are just commenting about, I will not support it. Because the fact is that Nigerian government are not helping matters at all. All these students that we are talking about, they are young ones. They are young ones for that matter. The government, I am not saying that the government should still lock down the schools, churches and hospitals, but if they really want schools to reopen, they need to provide necessary equipment. We all know everything that is going on in Nigeria now. Let's just be realistic to ourselves. At least when we remember those days that we go to school, you can see that the government, the schools, that we asked us to bring so many things that the parents are not supposed to bring. And this is the same thing that they are expecting from the parents right now. They want them to bring sanitizers. They want them to bring everything, instead of the government to provide such things for the schools. May God help us. May God help us. But at the same time, because of COVID-19 does not mean that the world should stand still. It does not mean that the reopening of schools should not happen. We need to live around the virus, but at the same time, the government should provide the necessary amenities that needed to be provided. They need to do that. Let's hear what people are saying about it. They said because of COVID-19, does that mean the world should stand still? Reopen schools and let us live around the virus? The failed government neglected many infrastructures for so long. And that is why the lazy teachers are talking of not all schools have waters. Reopen schools. Trust Nigerians. They try to exploit any situations for personal advantage, particularly financial and material-wise. This is simply an attempt to use COVID for personal gain. This so-called NUT is a criminal by collecting salaries without work. Let government stop their payments. Let's see what happens. Hypocrite people. Your reason is born out of selfishness because you are sure you will be paid. Or since when did these bodies start caring for all Nigerians? Lazy souls, I trust the government. They will just sack anyone who refuses to work. Did you consider private schools in your selfish complaint? Nigeria is one of the most confused countries in the world. Nothing is certain in Nigeria. They will count 1 to 20. And if you set your mind on it, you will caught up by them going back to 2 instead of continuing from 21. They said, I don't blame them. It's because their salaries are coming. So private school teachers and owners should die. Buhari is the worst president ever in Nigeria. NUT, please resume because of our children at home. NUT is worse than political parties. How many of their members are they protecting their interest? The people are so funny, they don't want to work because they can receive the money they didn't work for. Maybe government should stop paying their salaries if they are not ready to work. The NUT bodies are greedy and selfish people. Government should not be paying them salary for doing nothing. Then I'm sure they will change their utterances. NUT and NMM are right because they are talking about the safety facilities for our children against COVID-19. And their argument is in line with UNICEF guidelines for opening of schools. Even the PTF members cannot allow their children to go to school. Not at this time. They know it is not safe. To me, I would support the fact that NUT, they are saying the right thing. Trust me. So viewers, what do you think? What is your own take? Your comment is highly appreciated, and kindly drop your comments at the comment section. For those who subscribe, we want to say a very big thank you to you for subscribing. We'll say God bless you. Bye.